this team actually suck because there hasn't been a good player. They literally, not only have they not been good at anything, they've been very bad at every aspect of the sport of baseball. Pitching, fielding, running the bases, fucking catching fly balls, hitting, taking walks. Bullpen
the walk thing
sucks. Starting
brutal.
pitching, can't get out of the fifth inning. Can't get hits. Like they're awful.
Thank you for listening to Shy Sox Talk with your hosts Chris and Matt. Your weekly place for White Sox fan reactions. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite beverage, and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Shy Sox Talk. My name is Chris, as always, here with my co-host Matt. How are you doing after that?
I just try not
fun
to kill
game.
myself at this point from depression. That's where we're at right now.
You're gonna have to dub that one over.
Personal life's doing great.
That's good.
White Sox life about as bad as it can get.
It is. It's tough.
Actually, I won't say that. It's not as bad as it can get. I think we've only scratched the surface.
I don't know what's happening. I don't understand what's happening. Got a few from the gallery though. Let's start off at least on a positive note for somebody who's kind of playing, maybe something that could help the team. When Yohan's back, what do you do with Jake Berger? This comes from PH Raps. What do you do with him? I'll let you lead off this one.
I mean, he doesn't have a good glove anywhere, really. His bat seems like it plays at the major league level, it appears. So you'd like to see him get some at-bats. Unfortunately, we have a logjam of shitty fielders that can only DH and play first base. And I don't think he's going to be able to play in the outfield ever. Maybe he can play second base. I don't know. Worth trying it, I guess. It's not like they're getting anything out of second base. The fielding's been terrible out of that position, and the hitting's been terrible. So, they could be like, you could probably throw out like a regular person out of the street and get similar production, like just like a guy out of the stands.
Yeah.
So maybe try Jake Berger at second base.
Yeah, I mean, I try him at second, or I actually think you might trade Gavin Sheets. I was looking at the righty-lefty splits between Jake Berger and Gavin Sheets. Who do you think bats better against righties?
Well, I mean, since you're asking me the question, I don't think it's Gavin Sheets, but it should be Gavin Sheets.
It should be Gavin Sheets, but it's Jake Berger. Jake Berger crushes the ball, regardless of the handedness. So I think the White Sox should try to move, Gavin Sheets as quickly as possible. But I don't know what you're going to get for him. So maybe you could package somebody and get, Frankie Montas or something. But I don't know if you need another pitcher. Like, you need offense.
The time to trade Gavin Sheets was this offseason, and they didn't. So now I don't think he's as good as he showed at the end of the year. He swings at everything. Like, if you throw a fastball like an inch or two above the strike zone, he will swing at it every single time. Like, no count. He will fucking swing at it every time.
And if it's a lefty on the mound, it's dead. I mean, just don't save the pitches. You know what I mean? Question here from Lucas. When Luis Robert is back, what do you do with Andrew Vaughn? I think you keep Vaughn in the 2-hole and you split Tim Anderson and Luis Robert. They both aren't working counts right now, which is a huge issue, which I think we're going to talk about the management of this team after this. But I think you have to split Tim Anderson and Luis Robert. You can't let them bat one, too.
Yeah,
they swing too early in counts.
They both swing too early. They're not patient. They swing at strikes out of the zone or balls out of the zone. Yeah, Andrew Vaughn is cool. Yohan Moncada should probably be in the 2-hole, though.
Where do you put Vaughn then? 3?
Third or fourth or fifth.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, just bench Abreu also. Let's think about doing that because has been having horrible at bats. I know he's usually a cold starter, but like his at bats, his swings at everything.
Yeah, I saw that stat that they posted yesterday watching the game that Jose's average velo is like 93.5 miles per hour, which is cool if they're leaving the park. But if it's hard on the ground and it's in double plays and it's lineouts, it's not doing anything.
Yeah, and I think all these expected stats from like StatCast with like launch angles and velocity, I don't think you can take those into account. This is a whole month of baseball where the actual output on the field is not even close to the expected outcomes. So I think after a month, that's a pretty good sample size, I'd think. You can kind of just throw those away. Those seem pretty pointless. That they changed the ball. They've admitted to that. So it's a completely different baseball than where all those expected stats were accumulated from over the years. So I don't think you could base. We had the kid like, we had a good expected slugging percentage and a good expected batting average and a good expected on base percentage. But, I think after a month, we can just throw those out the window and say that this team cannot hit at all right now. And I don't think that you can lean on those stats and think that it's going to get better.
I agree with that. And this is coming from, I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but we appreciate the question. What do you do with the management, or what do you think with the management of the White Sox? And I think this kind of brings us into an issue on the team and the Twin Series kind of. It's bad right now. It feels like Tony is hunting games away, building really weird lineups, and Frank Mendocino is a hitting coach. What is he doing? What does he even do? Is he sitting guys down saying, in innings where we have batters that see at least 4 pitches each, we're scoring runs. When we don't swing at first pitch, our batting averages are better. Like, what is the game plan with Tony and Frank? Those are my big issues.
I just think the game has passed Tony La Russa by, and it passed him by 20 years ago. So he's 90 years old. He's like literally 1 foot in the grave, maybe even like 1 foot and 4 toes in the grave. Like, he's going to die in the dugout. He's a senile old grandpa who has no business managing any baseball team. If I was a player, I wouldn't listen to a word he said to me. He seems like he's kind of an asshole, and like that's how he comes off. He also comes across as like someone who is asleep, like literally, like he's a person who's asleep. Like, it's like talking to my grandpa, who's not much younger. So I think it was a horrible hire. I think that has kneecapped the White Sox. I don't think the players respect him as much as they say they do. I don't think they listen to what he has to say. I wouldn't blame them. Every single decision he's made for going on 2 years now has been pretty much the wrong decision every time. There's not a lot of opportunities for a manager to like insert themselves into the game and change the outcome. But every time he's given the opportunity, I can't think of a time he made a decision that was good and benefit the White Sox. Like, anytime it comes up to Tony, it is a negative outcome.
He was supposed to be like a bullpen guru too, and it feels like the bullpen's gotten much, much worse since Tony's come along.
And it's from usage. Like, he's just uses the wrong guys at the wrong time. It's insane.
Like Kendall Graveman, 2 innings yesterday, you're up 4, like you said. And if he was available today in the 10th, that's a different game. You throw him 1 inning yesterday, and you can throw him 1 today. I was looking at a stat. Like, there's a website that, it's not a baseball website, but they do like all the stats for everything ever. And they figured out that managers are either between -2.5 wins or +2.5 wins for like a whole season. They don't make a huge impact, but they have an impact. And your average manager, obviously, it's 0. Since Tony La Russa has been with the White Sox, where do you think he sits on that list? -2.5.
He's got to be like more than -2.5.
Like, he's at the bottom rung. And a couple examples from the Minnesota series. Well, let's start with Cleveland. You're planning on punting one of the two doubleheader games away. Don't punt the one that's not against the Cy Young winner. Punt the one against the Cy Young winner. Like what's the plan there? Minnesota, bases their juice. You have Yasmani Grandal on the bench versus Reese McGuire. Use Grandal. Like today, Aaron Bummer coming out for a second inning. And
for no reason. There's no reason for him to come out again.
He hit the first guy, and he's so big on these handed matchups. The first dude that Aaron Bummer had a lefty-lefty matchup with in the 10th hit a RBI single or RBI double that drove in 2 runs. Like, what are you so obsessed with it when it's your batters, but if it's your pitcher, you just are asleep in the dugout?
And like with Aaron Bummer, I know all the advanced stats say that he's like an elite pitcher, an elite relief pitcher, and he like gives up soft contact. I don't know how accurate these advanced stats are because he sucks and he gives up hits all the time. So even if you're giving up soft contact and it results in players getting on base and players scoring runs and you blowing saves and you not getting holds, I don't care what the advanced stats say. The real stats are what matters.
Yeah. And I saw a stat. Aaron Bummer, when he throws a first pitch ball, which he's done more this year than he has thrown first pitch strikes.
Has he thrown a first pitch strike the whole goddamn season?
I think he's thrown one, baby. He is batting averages against him when he throws a first pitch strike. Righties or lefties are not at 100. When he throws a first pitch ball, they're both batting over 250 against him. So if he's not finding the strike zone on the first guy, pull him after his minimum of 3. Because everything goes out the window with him if you can't throw a first pitch strike. His whole game plan.
He just throws that high slider, which I feel like he's not doing on purpose.
Oh, that one against Bobby Witt Jr. today that he decided not to swing at, give that guy a second chance and he's going to throw it.
Throwing batting practice, dude.
Yeah. Bobby Witt Jr. is going to throw that ball into I-95 if he sees that pitch a second time.
Seriously.
Like, we're lucky he took that. Well, we're not lucky because the Royals still scored 3 runs in the inning, and the White Sox had no plan in the bottom of the 10th day against them. But
yeah, that was pathetic at bats.
Yeah. But I don't know what you do with the team management. Like, it was a Jerry's idea to bring in Tony La Russa. Do you just fire him? I mean, what do you do?
Tony La Russa is going to manage here until I'm dead. So he's never going to get fired. I can promise you that. He will never be fired by the Chicago White Sox. So he's your manager until he doesn't want to be. So they should fire him already. He should be fired now. But he's not going to be.
And I know we've mentioned this move before, but if you need a move that really solidifies Tony La Russa is no longer a major league manager, it's pulling up 2 runs, Adam Engel in Game 2 of the ALDS to pinch hit for Cesar Hernandez, and putting Leori Garcia in right field. He loves also, by the way, his love for Leori Garcia, over it. I'm over that already. I don't want to see him out again. Just give me Danny Mendick in the 9 hole.
Yeah, he had a nice run today, but he's still batting like 100. So,
and let's use that as a pivot into our next one. What do you think of the batting approach right now for this team? Because it feels like they don't have one. It feels like every at bat it's swing and hope that the ball finds space at the wall or leaves the park. There's one guy on the team, and it's Andrew Vaughn, who has an approach, and he looks like the only major leaguer right now.
Yeah,
only one.
They look terrible. I have no idea what kind of instruction they're getting. I know they're professional baseball players, but none of them are swinging the bat well. It's like they don't have an approach. It seems like.
That's how it feels. And that's how it looks.
They have the least amount of walks in the league.
Let's see, the least amount of.
Trying to take a walk.
Brad Keller went 7. We couldn't get Brad Keller out before the 7th today.
The White Sox are making mid-tier pitchers look like Cy Young candidates on a daily basis.
Yeah,
if I was the White Sox, I would be embarrassed of myself, like at how bad I've been.
If I was an opposing pitcher, I'd just throw a curveball, first pitch, or change up, have him swing over it. You're up 0-1, boop, right off the bat. Every batter, I guarantee 90% are going to be starting out 0-1.
They chase everything. Hey, they can hit lefties really good. Doesn't look like that's the case anymore.
Yeah, that went out the window.
Just throw it out of the zone. They'll chase.
Back slider, I'll swing over it every single time. Yeah, it feels like the whole approach of this team needs to change and like change fast, or the season is going to be lost in May. Like,
these games count. They count in April just as much as they count at the end of the season.
And as much as it hurt, and we'll get to that topic in a second, the record right now, you don't get half losses for being down men.
Injuries are every team gets injured. That's a terrible.
Every single one.
You should have a better GM then. Rick Hahn should have done a better job.
Have depth. This whole offseason, they were like, oh, our guys are going to be better because they're a year older. There's no depth. A couple of people got hurt, and now the whole team is falling apart.
Yeah, and I mean, the real nightmare scenario is you're expecting these guys to develop and be better, but they've hit their peak. Eloy Jimenez might be the best player. You may have seen his best out of him already. We might have seen the best out of Luis Robert. I don't believe that for Luis Robert. I think he's, going to be a MVP candidate. But what if not? What if he's topped out? What if
Jose Abreu's at his cliff?
Out? What if Andrew Vaughn's topped out?
And what if guys who you are staples of this team are at the cliff? What if Jose Abreu's at his cliff? What if Grandal's at his cliff? What if Tim Anderson is at his cliff? Like that. We're just not going to add to the team. And what really frustrates me is our starting pitching is rock solid right now. They're not going super deep, but it's not like outside of like Dallas and Vince Velasquez, the top three of our rotation is throwing the hammer down, and the offense is wasting quality starts.
Yep.
And it's so frustrating to watch. Michael Kopech is 0-0 with like a 1 ERA. You couldn't give that guy run support. He's let up 3 runs in 3 starts. What are you going to ask him to give up 0? It's not realistic.
Yeah, you still don't win if you give up 0. You got to score still.
You got to score. That was like the Dallas game, like game 1. Everybody was like, "Oh, Dallas played." They didn't score a run. It didn't matter if Dallas went 9 and didn't give up a base runner. They didn't score. Positive notes: Joe Kelly and Yohan Moncada are going to be in Charlotte this weekend. Looks like it's going to be quick rehab assignments, and Luis Robert's supposed to be back. Do you have any hope that the team turns around with the addition of those 3 guys? I guess
honestly, if they would have won today, my opinion would have changed. But I'm extremely, extremely down on my expectations for the rest of the season. They do not look like a good baseball team, and they've shown me nothing to change that opinion. Like if Moncada comes up and his on-base percentage is huge, and he's getting on base and not getting hurt and making great plays. And Luis Robert comes back and he's looking good too. Like maybe my opinion will change, but like they got to show me something. But like if they don't go on a winning streak here soon, like
this season's gone.
Like this season might be over in May.
Yeah. Lance Lynn's supposed to come back in May too, so hopefully, like, there's a miracle where, the team can put the pieces together to the point where like it doesn't fall apart before then.
Well, unfortunately, I think the theory that the genius Rick Hahn, super smart guy there, who I am also losing tremendous faith in, I think the gameplay here was, well, we think we're a lot better than our division rivals. So, even if we don't have elite performance throughout the regular season, we're still going to run away with it. And they've just gotten their ass kicked by the division.
3
Twins kicked their ass. Royals kicked their ass. The Guardians kicked their ass.
And the Tigers were on the verge. We're kind of on the verge of kicking their ass. Like, this close. And the Twins thing, what really pisses me off about that Twins series is, what are we doing pitching? Game 1. fuck it, game 1 first. You're up 1-0. 2 runs score on 2 throwing errors in the same play. Did everybody lose their mind and just forget how to play defense for 30 seconds? And in game 3, Byron Buxton's run doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why are
Tony
we
doesn't
pitching
have
to
the
their
mind for the game, dude. He
hottest
does
bat?
not understand. He just doesn't understand the game anymore. Like, I think he's like he forgets shit. Like, I think he's like, oh, there's 2 outs.
Cool.
But there's 1. But there's actually only 1 out.
There's 1 out. And the first base is open. And if you're going to say the guy behind him is a 300 hitter, the guy behind him is a 300 hitter who hits ground balls that find gaps. Give me that matchup. Literally give me that matchup over Byron Buxton every day of the week. Every day.
Also, that's another stupid thing where Liam Hendricks slipped in the dugout and hurt his back, and they put him out there again for the second inning. Are we missing relievers or something where we're having to pitch these guys 6 outs for some reason? Like, what is Tony La Russa seeing differently than everyone in the world? Everyone in the entire world is seeing it differently.
And if we're out of bullpen arms because Garrett Crochet got hurt, then we should have brought back Ryan Tepera. Like, if one injury in the infield makes our infield look like this, and one injury in the bullpen makes our bullpen look like this, and one injury on the starting pitching is basically thrown away 2 starts a week, that's on management and Jerry for spending, was it $33 million between Dallas Keuchel and Craig Kimbrell? That's on them at that point. Like, that's building your team. Build a better team with some depth. Like, and are we not developing AAA guys that can come? Oh, Tanner Banks is a 30-year-old rookie. That's cool. But, like, do we not have, throw Jimmy Lambert out there? Fuck Vince Velasquez. We know what he is. He's been in the league for
Vince
a million years.
Throwing batting practice. All right, we've seen enough. He shouldn't get another start. He's awful. Keuchel's awful too, but they're giving him $20 million. So
he has to start. He has to. But if there's hope out there for White Sox fans, I will say this: Yohan Moncada's coming back, Joe Kelly's coming back, and Luis Robert will be back. All probably within the week. This could be a very different feel 7 days from now. I don't think this team. I think last year with the injuries, the division kind of sucked, and guys like Brian Goodwin popped off. This year they don't have that, right?
Yeah,
they don't have.
Didn't have Byron Buxton last year,
right? Or Carlos Correa. Yeah. But there's hope. It's not over. Next week, all those guys are back, and we're scoring 2 runs a game. It might be over.
Yeah, it's not over, but it's not looking good, folks. They do not look like a good baseball team. They look really, really, really bad. They look like rebuild version of the White Sox.
And God, please.
With friggin' John Jay and I don't even remember the other guy.
AJ Reed was our DH, I think.
AJ Reed and Jerry Sands and
people really like Darby's.
Yolmer Sanchez is your best player. He'd probably be the best second baseman on the team if they had him.
Yeah. Next week we'll do prospects in a month and review and everything. But the way the team looks right now, I think every White Sox fan reflects all the emotions we just expressed virtually to your ear holes.
Yeah, it's rough. It's been a really rough run, and I thought it would be better by the time we did this episode, but
I did too.
Maybe next episode, guys, we'll have something to cheer about, or maybe I will have already unalived myself.
Done the deed. Are there any words of wisdom that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I don't know. Figure out a way to get Tony La Russa fired from his job. I don't know what you got to do, but make it happen. Yeah. Also, Rick Hahn, if you're listening, you suck. Sorry. Why would you have let Rodon walk?
Didn't make any sense.
For nothing.
And he's a stud right now, by the way.
Could have got a draft pick for him, but they just let him go for nothing.
I think their fear was that he was going to resign, and I don't understand why that's a fear.
Oh man, this guy's good. Don't want him on our team. Well,
just pitch limit him. If you're afraid of his arm, pitch limit him. There you go. For the first 2 months,
I was
don't let him
looking like
play 5.
Kenny Williams and Jerry Reinsdorf and Rick Hahn definitely took the under on team wins this year. They're going to cash out. Is Tony La Russa throwing games? Does anyone have proof of that? Because that like kind of seems like something. I honestly would believe that if someone was like, "Yo, I have proof that Tony La Russa's throwing games." I believe that 100%. It's the only thing that explains his behavior.
If he does, email us. We will get it to the public. We immediately will get it to I hate Tony La Russa.
Yeah, that guy's a bum. Hopefully he gets some sort of DUI accident and is unalived also.
By himself, though. No other bystander.
It's really our only hope for the season is if Tony La Russa crashes into the median on 90 and can no longer coach.
He's not allowed at the ballpark anymore. You know what I mean? Courts aren't allowed there. So trust me, I've tried. So I hope next week things are better. But if you're frustrated, let us know. Let us know how frustrated
you're
you
frustrated.
You like Brandon.
You're not as frustrated as I am.
Matt is our in-house White Sox fanatic. He's the one who turned me. I was like 1 foot in, and Matt was like, come all the way, brother. I said,
and you got 2 good seasons out of it. Wow, what a good deal.
Hey, you know what? I'll take that deal all day.
Hey,
love baseball.
Just absolutely suck for 10 years. Just full 10-year rebuild. Just absolute garbage teams. Not even trying to compete because we're going to save money so we can not spend it in the future. But we'll tell you that's why. Don't ever fall for a rebuild. If you're fans of other teams, it's all a lie. They should be fielding competitive teams. They have plenty of money. Rebuilds don't work 99% of the time.
Rebuilds are a lie. They're changing the game, and it makes me want to change the channel. So that's all I got.
Change the channel. New White Sox. We got ready to change the game. It's changed the channel now.
Let's go. And we'll wrap it up there, I guess. Go Sox, man.
Let's go Sox. Turn it around, please.
Please turn it around this weekend against Mike Trout. Beam him in the head and Shohei. Get them both. Go Sox.
Go Sox.